In today's video, it's going to be an absolute banger. I'm really excited because I'm going to bring you through the exact same creative process and strategy that helps our clients and every other 8 to 9 figure company out there actually get to $100,000 days. Kind of like these results that you see in front of your screen right now. You know, to get to these results, you have to be good at creatives. Okay, that's if you haven't been living under a rock, you know that by now. But before we get into the actual nitty-gritty strategy, the entire process, I'm going to bring you through a bunch of different things, including a banger winning ad that has over 200 million views. I'm going to show you that at the end of this video, so make sure to stick until the end. Common misconception. I want to start the video by talking about this extremely common misconception, which is that to get to $1, 2, 3, 5, $10 million a month, you just need more creatives. So everybody believes that to get to $1, 2, 3, 4, $5 million a month, you just need to clutter the ad account with as much volume, creative volume as possible. Although volume does help in the scaling process, it's not the detrimental factor that allows companies to actually scale profitably. Okay, this is a really important thing. In fact, I do want to show you kind of like a diagram that I showed you, which is basically explaining what it would look like to scale a company. Basically, here's what a Ferrari, right, with a Fiat engine looks like, which is the exact same metaphor of like scaling with just more creatives. I'm going to show you in just a second, just so you understand my philosophy here. So this is what the Ferrari looks like, the hood, right? You're doing a lot of angles, you're doing a lot of creatives, a lot of creative concepts, a lot of iterations, scripts, hooks, you're testing different creators, but you're just doing it at such a high level that the quality is extremely low. Right, because the more quality you do and the more the quality goes down. It's just how assuming you're spending the same amount of time, meaning that if you spend 3 hours doing one video compared to 3 hours doing 20,000 videos or whatever, 20, 30 videos, then of course the quality of that one video is going to be way higher. There's more intent. So this is what it looks like. You have the Ferrari, the kind of like the outside of the car. The engine, which is broken, is a process that basically means that you're doing all of this, but at the end of the day, 1 in 50 ads or 1 in 100 ads is barely a winner, right? So you're basically, it looks something like this. You test 30 ads, 50 ads, 100 ads, and 1 is a winner. You test 75 ads, 1, maybe 2 is somewhat of a winner, not even scalable. And so this is basically the problem. You have a Ferrari because you're doing everything that you should be doing, right, when it comes to the creative output, right, and necessary perhaps to scale, right? But you're doing it in the wrong way because your engine, your actual creative sucks, which is the reason why you can't scale. So there's high volume and there's low intent. This is the model a lot of companies, right, a lot of brands are leveraging that is stopping them from perhaps scaling, right? And I've seen this many times. So let me explain something really important. There's 3 primary things that you need to master within your creative process to actually scale. And this is not something I just believe because I just wake up in the morning and I feel like saying something about on my YouTube channel that just makes people click or whatever. It's actually documented with at least 100 brands that I've worked and consulted with in the last 6-7 years. And I'm not the only one saying this, okay? Go funnel hack all the other companies and that is the proof of what I'm saying is true. So you need 3 things. You need customer research, okay? You need creative research, and then you need creative meetings. I'm going to explain exactly what these 3 things are in just a second. And I'm going to show you a bit of a diagram that looks something like this. You may or may have not seen in my other videos, but let me break down what I mean by customer research. So this is an example of customer research. Let me just bring you through an example. So this is customer research, okay? This is an example of customer research. You going and actually doing something called review mining. So this is a real report from one of our clients where we put all the reviews into this document. We list them over here by negative, positive. We also have AI help us, whatever. We build a report so we know, hey, 24% are negative, 15% are neutral, and 60% of the reviews are more on the positive side. And then based on that, with AI, we actually have product benefits, angles, desires, pain points, motives, beliefs of our customers based on the research that we did. This is just one example, right? I'm not going to go through every customer research example that we do, but one example of actually taking the time to understand what your customers think, what their desires are, and their angles are. This is another example of a great way to do customer research. We go on TikTok, we go on social media platforms, and take a look at viral, trendy videos of creators or brands that are promoting to our same audience. Or if you can find a direct competitor or one of your own ads that has gone viral, you read it and you read through it because they have the same product, right? So this is an example of a question that was answered and asked, not answered, but I guess asked by a lot of users in a viral video of like a product that we are selling or something very similar. So the question here is, and the strategy that I'm talking about here is doing the customer mining, but in the review section, in the comments, in the engagement section of a viral video or ad. And so a lot of people here were asking, where is it? How long does it last? This is basically a product.
Stop it.
Whoops.
How old do you think I am?
I lost all the comments now. How long does it last? So basically, there's a lot of people asking how long does it last? How long does it last? This is basically a product that helps with under like baggy eyes. So you put on the cream and after like 20 seconds, it goes away. So it's actually a very good product in terms of like before and after effect on like a video ad. And so a lot of people are asking, how much does it last? Another one, how long does it last? Another one, how long does it last? And this is like me not even loading all the thousands of comments. This is in just like a 2 or 3 pages of scrolling. You see how another one, how long does it last? This is a perfect example of something that we need to consider. Everybody's telling, right? Everybody's asking, how long does this actually last? And so this is maybe an example, stupid example, because it took me like 2 minutes to look at for the sake of the YouTube video. But I found an important piece of information that is probably important to include into the first 10 to 15 seconds of my video, or at least include it inside my video, because this is something, an objection, right, that a lot of people probably have. You put it on, what if it lasts just 5 minutes? I'm not going to buy it. But if I answer that objection or that question within my video, then of course I have a higher likelihood of receiving that conversion from these people. And there's like way more, right? Another one over here. How long does it last? Like in just 1 or 2 frames. Now you get the point. This is what I just wanted to talk about. This is customer research. Okay, there's deeper levels of doing customer research. Use AI, read articles, look at government statistics, just like do as much as you can to know everything about your customer. Creative research is something that is really important, and this is kind of like what we do. We want to try and to find viral winning concepts, right? The creatives that are going viral, so that we can leverage these and use them for our own company, our own brand that we want to scale. So this is just the same exact example. Let me just go back here and show you. If we're saying or solving the baggy kind of like eye bags, under eye bags, this is what we would do. This is an example of a creative research, right? So that we are aware of what's working in the market today. And so we would go on TikTok, on Instagram. TikTok is just really, really good. If you use TikTok on your mobile, it actually works even better because there's more filters that you can apply. And so these are just some really, really viral concepts that are working today. And so I noticed that this has almost 1 million likes, and it's a man. And it was published this year. This is also a very similar type of video, but the only difference is that, it's still within this year. The only difference is that it's with a woman. And if we have to take a look at most of the viral videos that we're seeing here, we need to start making observations. What is the observation? Let's take a look at this video, for example.
How old do you think I am? Now, how old do you think I am? Peter Thomas Roth Temporary Eye Tightener has tightened up my eye bag, gotten rid of my dark circle, my crow's feet, and I look 10 years younger. Let me show you how I did it. People say you can't wear makeup with these tighteners. Well, yes,
So first of all, the one thing that I'm noticing here is an instant before and after. Look at the levels of saves. Look how many saves, 53,000 saves. That is insane. Out of 200,000 likes, right, 20%, 25% of people, or whatever the proportion is, they actually save the video. You know how important that is? When it comes to analyzing this. So the first observation is that it's a raw video, and there's an instant before and after result on the product. So this is the first observation that I want to make. Let's take a look at this another example of an ad from this guy.
My daughter and her boyfriend are going to be taking me out tonight for a really nice dinner, and I do not feel like bringing these bags with me. That's why I'm using the brand new Peter Thomas Roth EasyWear Instant Firm X Eye Tightener. You're going to see the results in real time. It's going to only take a couple minutes. It is absolutely amazing.
He's doing the same thing, maybe a less of a drastic way, but it's a raw video. And he's saying, I am going out for dinner. I'm already dressed up and ready, as you can see. And within just a couple of minutes, you will see the results, and I'm going to show you in just a second. So, of course, this is a product that just really, really works well for meta ads, right? But this is the data that we want to get feedback on, or at least write and document, right? And so just to go back to my diagram over here, once we have customer research and creative research, right, we basically put everything into a wholly creative document. It's basically a document that has all of this information, all of the links of the viral videos that we want to replicate because we know that the concept works, right? It has also winning ad breakdowns. This is part of like a creative research. Once we understand that this ad or this video on TikTok is working very well, or this ad, whether it's our own or our competitor or just a random piece of content that we saw that we know is generating results, then we break it down so that my team understands, okay, what is the structure and segment of this piece of content? There's the hook, then there's an offer presentation, and then there's features and benefits. This is just an example of an everyday dose ad. They're a coffee company doing very, very well. Then we have B-roll shots, and then we have an explanation, so scene by scene, so we understand, what makes the actual ad work. Like literally, we understand what are the components of the ad that makes it work in the first place. So once again, I can go and into a rabbit hole here, but basically, long story short, we have winning ad breakdowns, deep customer research, we analyze buying triggers, we analyze winning scripts, we analyze voiceovers, the required pieces of content that are required to actually make a winning ad. Like we put all this information into a holy document so that my entire team has access to it. This is just an example of what a holy creative document looks like. We have like research, and then we have customer research, which is Amazon reviews, Reddit reviews, avatars, like studying how we can expand our avatar pool. And then we have creative research, which is winning ad breakdowns, Altria concepts, competitor winning ads, concepts and ideas that are visuals, whatever it is, that are working in today's market. Basically, this type of research over here. So we're documenting everything, and we make it impossible for my team not to understand what makes things work. You understand how that is important? Okay, so once we have this document, all of our team gets access to it. Our creative strategists, our copywriters, our CMO, our editors, graphic designers, head of performance, everybody. And so the whole point is that we go from before and after. So getting a 1, 2, 3% hit rate to a 10, 12, 13, 15, 20% hit rate on our ads, right? And so this is absolutely detrimental. And just to take a step back and talk about the last pillar. So we talked about customer research. We talked about creative research. The last component is creative meetings. This is so important. And I should say maybe creative feedback loops, because it's part of the creative process. And so this is important because when we hop on calls with my creative team, with our creative team, we can tell them exactly what is working on the ad account, what is not working on the ad account, and come up with scientifically backed data points and inferences and predictions, hypotheses, call it whatever you want, so that they can improve. Who can improve? The creative strategists and the editors. In fact, we have 2 weekly meetings currently within my agency for our clients. And the first one is a weekly creative meeting, which is led by the head of performance, which is, let's call it the head of marketing, the head of performance, the person responsible for the performance. And he has the meeting with our 2, the creative strategists on the team. In this case, it would be you or somebody else or whatever, the creative strategist. And then also our UGC manager is there to chime in to understand what's going on, and the media buyer as well. Because if we can combine the creative part with the media buying part, so the creative strategists actually look into the ad account and understand what's working and what's not working, this allows everybody to be in a better place. So this is basically a meeting where you review winning ads, you review failed ads, you study what's creatives are scaling on the ad account, you come up with data-backed A/B creative tests and iterations, and you discuss new avatar personas and angles and concepts that maybe you want to test in the future. The other meeting that we had is actually led by our creative strategists. So we have our creative strategists hop on with the editors and the creative team, so the video editors and the graphic designers, where they basically tell them, hey, this ad with this specific B-roll and this specific phrase or caption was not actually the best combination, so it should be improved. This is what I'm asking you to do and improve on. So you get the point. There's always an iteration process and a feedback loop between creative strategist and the media buying team, and creative strategist and the editor, so that they can connect the dots. The result of these 3 things: customer research, creative feedback loops, meetings, call them whatever you want, is that you drastically increase your hit rate. Now, this full process, keep in mind, will get you from guessing to scientifically scaling with your with feedback loops, okay, which is super, super important. Note, before I move on and I show you other interesting things, I want you to understand one really, really important thing. Remember when we talked about volume, right? Note, let me just read it. We've seen brands, and this is like, I can testify. We've seen brands that only produce 7 to 10 creative concepts per week that generate multi-7-figure months. Okay? I'm talking like multi-7 figures. This is the proof that quality over quantity matters a lot. Okay? Do not forget this. Now, just to give you a quick recap, I'm going to go over a quick recap and overall recommended creative direction that I think you should take to get your business to the next level in terms of creatives and finding winners. And then I'm going to show you the banger ad that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So stick until the end. So the first process is get this process in place. Do the customer research, do the creative research, and do your creative meetings so that you can always understand what's going on. Okay, it could be yourself. Maybe you're the creative strategist when you start. You could also be like yourself and like an editor or a graphic designer or both. Like it doesn't have to be a big team, right? It can also be yourself and somebody else, as long as there's somebody doing research on creatives, on the customer, and actually doing feedback loops with meetings. Then what's going to happen is that you're going to see your hit rate go from shit to good. Okay, that is a good indication. Your ad account is going to start scaling, right? Then what you're going to do after is that you can start implementing some sort of mass creative scaling with iterations, right? Once you find winners that are working on your ad account, then you can start doing a bunch of iterations. What the iteration is going to do is that if your winner is scaling to 500K a month, right, maybe with the iterations, it's going to either keep it alive for more or actually allow you to scale a bit more. It's going to be one of the two. Maybe the winner number 2 is going to help you scale to 200K a month or whatever that is. This is just a random number. And with the iterations, it's going to either help maintain that, where the creative keeps staying alive, or it's going to help maybe scaling with other iterations. What is an iteration? Like keeping the exact same ad, but just maybe changing a hook or changing something that can make it better, right? Or changing the body, or changing the call to action, or changing the offer, or changing like the avatar position, changing the angle. These are all iterations based on a proven winning concept. And then, same thing. So iterations will never get you from 1 million to like $3 million a month, or like from 100K to like $1 million a month. It's quite hard. Okay, it's not something that will like completely get your business to the next level. It does, however, help maintain and over time, right, with all the iterations that you're doing, make a business a lot more consistent, right? Because your winners are just a bit more distributed. Now, this being said, do not forget this part, right? This is not BS. It's real. I've seen a creative concept is basically one concept which makes 3 ads, right? It's like 3 ads, so it's like a same body but like different hook. That's like with 3 variations, something like that. That's one concept. So they're basically doing 7 times 3, or like let's just say 20 to 30 ads per week, right? I've seen that quantity really, really do well and get to 7-figure months. Like you don't need something like 300 creative concepts a month. Like you don't need that. Okay, keep in mind these are concepts, creative concepts. Okay, one concept is made of 2 or 3 ads each, not different, just iterations and variations. Iterations, variations. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next, once you do this, you are pretty much golden. Now I want to go and go after this kind of like Dr. Squatch ad. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. I want to go through this ad together, but I want to show you this ad because I never want you to forget the power of one single ad and how much it can change a business, right? Talking about quality and quantity, this is a perfect example of an ad where they spent a lot of time curating, doing all this customer research, doing customer mining, creative research, analyzing trends, and a lot of creative meetings, trust me. So let me show you this ad so that we can take a look at it together.
Most name brand...
Let's watch it from the top.
You're not a dish. You're a man. Most name brand bars and body washes you rub on your skin are classified by the FDA as synthetic detergent. It's not even real soap. Start treating your body to the natural, nourishing, lathery goodness of Dr. Squatch soap. Get ready to step out of the shower feeling alive.
That smells really good.
It smells like my guy's cologne.
Okay.
It smells really good, yeah. Really
good?
sexy. Oh, that smells really good.
I would use it, but like if a guy smelled like that too, I'd be like, ugh.
If my man was wearing this, I would be all over him.
It's natural. It's kind of like being in a forest.
I would use this on myself.
So I'm not saying you have to do like this high production or type of ad, but take inspiration, first of all, from the ad itself, from the script, from the structure. This is something that is actually part of us studying, right? What's working, what's going viral, what's getting interaction, what's getting 175 million views, right? Which is a lot of views. But from this example, I need you to understand that it's not always about quantity. It's almost never about quantity. It's always about quality first, and then increasing the volume of your quality, right? It's never the opposite. You never start with like such a high volume of quantity to then like do it in the opposite side. It's always on the other side. Good quality, and then you can start scaling your quality, okay? And so just read at these comments. This is honestly the only commercial I don't skip and enjoy watching. You guys actually just got me to watch a 4 minute 52 soap commercial. This I heard this come on at 4 a.m. and I've never been more disturbed to hear stop. Anyways, this ad played at school when whatever. I was also reading. I wanted to read another one that got my attention. You really do smell whatever. No. I intentionally searched this ad up so I could watch it again. This is me. This is me as well. So long story short, if there's one takeaway over here, just make sure to get your time and put it towards creative strategy, okay? Not just quantity. Follow this process. Have a team meetings. Create a wholly creative document where you store all of the customer research and the creative research, right? Go on, spend time on TikTok to understand what's going viral, and to understand what concepts are going viral so that you can take advantage of them. All these steps are really, really important. Okay, I hope this video was valuable. Let me know if you have any questions. If you are a brand doing at least $100,000 a month and you want to explore the opportunity of working with us, then you can book a call down below. It's probably going to be with me or one of my team members, and together, after doing an audit for your company, for your brand, we can explore the opportunity of perhaps growing and doing business together as growth partners. Okay, that is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And definitely, hopefully, I'll see you on the call. Bye.